Welcome to the Urban Survivor channel. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at 7 different flashlights to help you choose the best one for everyday carry. All of these lights are powered by a single 18650 battery, which provides a great balance of high outputs, long run times, and they're small enough to be pocket carried. We're going to be taking a look at lights with a wide range of price points and comparing their beam shots, their max outputs, their minimum outputs and run times, their weights, lengths, and more. If you're in the market for a new flashlight, this video will help you decide which one is best for you. And if you want to learn more about any of these lights, you can find links in the description, which will also help to support the channel. We're going to start off with a quick introduction to each light. This is the new Nitecore MH11. And it's a great entry-level light for people looking for something simple and durable for everyday carry. It's also one of the most lightweight lights in the lineup, so if weight is your biggest consideration, this is a good one to look at. The Brinyte PT28 Oathkeeper is a long-throwing powerhouse with a max beam distance of 240 meters, with a high output, and it comes with a handful of really high-quality accessories. If you're looking for a tactical style light for heavy-duty use, this is a great option. This is the Lumintop EDC 18, and despite its compact size, it has the highest output of the bunch at 2800 lumens, and it also has an incredibly long runtime on its lowest output at 1776 hours. The Nextorch E51 V2 is an upgrade to one of Nextorch's most popular EDC lights, and it offers good performance all around, including high output and long throw. This is the Wuben C3, and if you're looking for an affordable light with great performance, this is a good one to consider, and it has plenty of modern features. The Wurkkos FC11 is another really affordable light that also has a really high CRI and variable output control, so if price, color rendering, output control, and excellent run times are the most important factors to you, this is a good light to consider. The Cyansky P20 is another long-distance thrower with high output from a relatively new company who is starting to build a great reputation for itself with its small line of heavy-duty lights. We're going to begin the comparison with a long-distance turbo test so you can get an idea of how these lights can perform when pushed to their limits. We're going to start off with the Nitecore MH11, which has a 1000 lumen output and a throw of 189 meters. The palm tree on the left is about 30 meters away, and the palm trees behind that are about 45 meters away. The trees in the distance are about 110 meters away. The light has a nice even flood, and there's not much of a hotspot to it, but it's definitely well suited for this kind of range. Despite the fact that it has the lowest output of the lights, it still does perform quite well at this distance. Next, we have the Brinyte PT28, which has a 1600 lumen turbo output and a max throw distance of 245 meters, making it the best thrower of the bunch. You can definitely notice an improvement in range compared to the previous light, and this light has a relatively wide flood and a nice hotspot, which helps to improve the range. This is the Lumintop EDC 18, which has the highest output at 2800 lumens on turbo and a 200 meter throw. This light has a much wider flood pattern, and it's more difficult to see it in this shot, but it is reaching across the trees at 110 meters, but the light is much weaker. It's tough to tell, but it's still illuminating a relatively wide area around the light captured by the camera. The Nextorch E51 V2 has a 1400 lumen output and a 210 meter throw, and this is another light that definitely excels at throwing. The light has a relatively even flood with a hint of a hotspot, which provides good balance. It also provides nice illumination in the foreground as well. Next, we have the Wuben C3, which has a 1200 lumen output and a 179 meter throw. This light has TIR optics, and it helps to provide a nice, relatively wide and even flooded light with excellent mid to long distance range, which is very impressive for a reasonably priced light like this one. Here is the Wurkkos FC11, which has a 1300 lumen output and the lowest manufacturer stated range at 144 meters. This light has a relatively wide flood and not too much of a hot spot to it, but we're definitely pushing this light to the limit in terms of the throw. Again, the camera does not quite do it justice, but you can see that it does faintly illuminate the trees at 110 meters. Finally, we have the Cyansky P20, which has a 1600 lumen output and the second best throw distance just behind the Brinyte at 240 meters. This light has a tighter flood than many of the lights here, and it's doing an excellent job of illuminating the trees at the 110 meter mark, and in my opinion this light may have a slight advantage over the Brinyte at this distance. Now we're going to bring things in much closer for a comparison shot of each of these lights on their lowest or moonlight output modes, with the output and max runtimes listed on the bottom. The lights were held at about 1.5 feet or 0.5 meters away from the book. The Lumintop EDC18 is on the top left, and that light has the lowest output at 0.2 lumens and the longest runtime at 1776 hours, which is roughly 74 days of continuous runtime, which is really impressive. The Wurkkos FC11 and the Nitecore MH11 were also pretty good at over 10 days of runtime on their lowest output. Here's a look at the lights on their highest output with their emitters listed at the bottom. The tree on the left is about 15 meters away, and there isn't much noticeable difference in the output at this distance, but it's an okay shot to compare their color temperatures and CRIs. Now we're going to be taking a look at battery charging and also the capacity of the batteries that are included with the lights. The 4 lights on the left all have USB-C inputs on the body of the light, and I was able to charge C-to-C on all of them except for the Nitecore light, which I was unable to test because the head of my C-to-C cable was slightly too big. The Brinyte uses a proprietary magnetic USB charging cable, and it also has the largest capacity battery included at 3100 milliamp hours. The Cyansky P20's battery comes with a micro USB input, and the Lumintop EDC18 does not include a charger, so you'll need to provide your own. This is how they stack up in terms of length in inches, and I've also added the weights in ounces and grams of the lights, including the batteries that they came with at the bottom. This might be something worth considering if you plan on pocket carrying the light. The Brinyte PT28 Oathkeeper is the longest and also the heaviest of the lights in the comparison. The Lumintop EDC18 is the shortest, and the Nitecore MH11 is the most lightweight. Here's a look at how they stack up in terms of IP rating and impact resistance. IP rating is important in a good EDC flashlight, especially if you're going to be using it in the rain or in a place where there's a good chance that it could be submerged in water. Impact rating could also be important depending on how you intend to use the light and how rough you're going to be with it. Overall, they're all pretty decent, but the Lumintop EDC18 has the best IP rating at IPX8 and also the best impact rating at 1.5 meters. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this style of comparison video, please give it a thumbs up and check out some of the other comparisons that I've done for AA, AAA, keychain flashlights, and lanterns, and be sure to subscribe to the channel for more comparison videos like this one.